He is universally remembered as the mysterious brooding king of heartbreak who hid his face behind jet black hair and thick dark sunglasses, but Roy Orbison's defining aesthetic was completely accidental. While on tour with the Beatles in the UK in 1963, Orbison accidentally left his regular prescription eyeglasses on an airplane right before a show. Blind as a bat without them, he was forced to go on stage wearing his thick, dark prescription sunglasses. Though he initially found the incident deeply embarrassing, the shades gave him an aura of intense, unapproachable mystery that perfectly matched his dramatic ballads, permanently turning an airline mishap into one of the most iconic looks in rock history. While Elvis was the undisputed king of rock and roll, he was famously intimidated by Orbison's staggering voice. When they toured together early in their careers in 1955, Presley quickly realized that the audience was so overwhelmed by Orbison's massive vocal range that it was nearly impossible to follow his act. Presley later publicly declared during his Las Vegas residency that Roy Orbison was the greatest singer in the world and the only singer he actively feared sharing a stage with. One of the most famous and lucrative pop songs in human history took less than an hour to write. In 1964, Orbison and his songwriting partner Bill Dees were struggling to find a concept when Orbison's wife Claudette announced she was going to town to buy something. Orbison asked if she needed money, and Dees jokingly replied, "A pretty woman never needs any money." Inspired by the quip, the two men sat down and wrote the complete melody, the iconic guitar riff, and the lyrics to "Oh, Pretty Woman" in just 40 minutes. Behind the sorrowful perfection of ballads like Crying lay a life marked by staggering, unimaginable grief. In 1966, his beloved wife, Claudette, the inspiration for several of his massive hits, was tragically killed in a motorcycle accident while riding directly in front of him. Just 2 years later, while Orbison was on tour in England, his home in Tennessee burned to the ground, killing his two eldest sons. Despite the crushing heartbreak that would have destroyed most people, he miraculously found the strength to continue creating music. The severe, jet-black pompadour that completed his brooding aesthetic was entirely fake. Orbison was actually born with practically white dishwater gray hair. Because he suffered from severe shyness and felt incredibly self-conscious about his highly unusual hair color as a teenager, he began dyeing it completely black. He maintained the severe dye job for the rest of his entire life, tricking millions of fans into believing it was his natural look. In 1988, at the age of 52 and decades removed from his peak 1960s fame, Orbison experienced one of the greatest career revivals in music history. He joined George Harrison, Bob Dylan, Tom Petty, and Jeff Lynne to form the legendary supergroup, the Traveling Wilburys.